everyone, welcome back to the Logan Library. You're here with us for our virtual craft time, and does anyone remember what our theme this week was? Our theme this week was bugs. On Wednesday we talked about how bugs can sometimes be scary and creepy and crawly, and maybe they make you not so comfortable, but how they are really important and they serve a really important role. So if you guys missed that story time, it was a really fun one. We had some really fun activities and we learned a lot about bugs. But today we're going to be making a bug on a branch. So I know that I showed you guys the craft kit on Wednesday. Now we're going to go ahead and learn how to make one together. And these are so cute. I really hope that they turn out. I hope that you guys enjoy doing them. So let's go ahead and see what we have to use today. So here's everything that you're going to need for today's craft. Inside of your craft kits that you pick up from the library, you will have one spoon. You'll have a set of googly eyes. You'll have a leaf that you'll have to put on the spoon yourself. And then you'll also have a set of Q-tips to make the polka dot design if you want to. In hindsight, I really probably should have given you guys 2 spoons since this craft is so easy this week. But I didn't, so I've had a lot of people asking for 2. So if you guys would like to make 2 bugs on a branch and not just one, please ask me while you're in here getting your kit, and I'd be happy to give you a second kit. There's obviously no limit on kits, so if you guys ever come in and you want to make an extra of whatever that craft is, definitely let me know and I'll be happy to give you an extra one. But here's everything you're going to need. You're also going to need paint, most likely. So I have my paint sitting here. This craft is the first craft where I had to do a little trial and error. And I will say, this is the paint that you get from Walmart. It's only 99 cents for the small bottles, and it works on so many surfaces. It's a great paint. I love this paint. This is what I use at home when I'm doing crafts. But the paint that we have here at the library, mostly, is a washable paint that is made for kids so that if it gets on anything, it comes off, which is great, and that's what I usually use. But I found out the hard way that when you paint the spoons with that washable paint, it does not stay on the spoon. It chips right off. So it honestly doesn't even really stick to the spoon. It slides off the side, and then when it does dry, it chips off. So I had to find that out the hard way when I was trying to make a bug on a branch earlier in the week. Now I know, so I'm relaying that information to you. I'm not sure if it's just our washable paint or if it's all washable paint that would do that. But if you guys have any of this nice apple barrel paint from Walmart or from a craft store, highly recommend using it. It does work really well, and it dries pretty quickly too. So I really like this paint. So that's what I'm going to use today. The next thing that you're going to need is a paintbrush to paint your spoons. And then, like I said, I have the Q-tips in here in case you want to do the polka dot design on your spoon. So we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing that I'm going to do, and I have a handy dandy little paper plate over here. So the first thing that we're going to do is pick our colors. So I think I'm going to do my 2 bugs in purple. Let's do purple, and what other color should I use? Well, blue is my favorite color, so let's use blue. We're going to use purple and blue for the colors of the bugs. And then I think I'll do their polka dots in pink and white. How does that sound? I think that sounds pretty cute. Oh, sorry. You'll also need glue to glue on the googly eyes. I'm slacking over here. I'm losing my touch, guys. You'll also need glue, so make sure that you have glue to glue on your googly eyes. Or if you don't want to use googly eyes, you can just make little paint dots as your eyes. Whatever you prefer, but if you guys know me at all, you know that I'm going to want to use googly eyes because I love using googly eyes. Okay, so I have my beautiful looking canvas here. I have all the colors that I want to use, and now I'm going to get painting. So here I have my 2 paintbrushes that I grabbed. I'm going to lay the first spoon on here because you want to really be sure that it's covering and that you're not getting it on anything, especially since this is washable paint. It does come off. I know that because like I said, I use it at home. But since we're technically not using washable paint, we want to really make sure that we're being careful and we're being safe. So I'm going to go ahead and dip in my purple and throw a layer on the spoon. And like I said, this paint just covers so much better. When I was painting with the washable paint, It didn't even really look like it was covering the spoon. It looked very, very watery, and you can see the spoon through it the whole time. So I kind of knew as soon as I put that first layer on that, oh my gosh, this isn't gonna work. And I'm really glad that I almost sent home little containers of paint with you guys, of the washable paint, to paint your bug. And then I decided against it because we didn't really have very many containers. But I'm glad that I did, because it would not have worked, and I would have felt really bad sending you guys home with paint that did not work for you. So be creative, use whatever you have at home. Don't make your mom, dad, grandma, grandpa go out and buy you a bunch of different craft supplies to make a bug on a branch. But it is what it is. This is perhaps the first craft that I've had that hasn't gone exactly how I thought it would. But you live and you learn. Now I know, and now if I ever do anything like this again, I can go into it knowing exactly what it's going to be, and I can tell you guys all of the things that I found out. So that's always helpful. And one of my coworkers actually even mentioned that maybe it would be possible to rough up the spoon. So like take the spoon and maybe take a rock or a piece of sandpaper or something like that and rough up the surface of the spoon so it's not so shiny. And then maybe that a washable paint would stick better if it was roughed up. So definitely be creative. I mean, we're gonna see this as an opportunity for you guys to really be creative as to how you guys want to make the craft. Since it didn't work out exactly how I thought it would, we're just gonna see it as an opportunity to try to figure out the best way to make it work. So let me know in the comments what you guys end up doing and what works best for you. And I would love to see pictures of your bugs. They don't all have to be the same, and if you roughed up the surface, it would probably even look more like a bug, because bugs have kind of rough, bumpy skin a lot of times, or rough, bumpy shells. So definitely let me know what you guys end up doing. But here are my 2 spoons that I've painted purple and blue for my little bug bodies. And we're gonna go ahead and let that dry. Like I said, depending on what paint you're using, everyone will have a different dry time, but this paint does not take very long to dry, probably about 5-10 minutes. So I'm gonna go run a few laps around the library and I will be right back. Okay, I am back. Our spoons are almost dry here, and I'm gonna go ahead and do the part right down here, the stick part. So like I mentioned, washable paint did not work. It was not gonna work for this craft. So I was stuck with a couple options. One was to try a washable marker, which is what we have here, like a Crayola washable brown marker. That also did not really seem to work, and it smeared all over my hands, so that wasn't a good option. So my next option was to use a permanent marker that would stay on the branch, but the only bummer is that it's black. So it's okay with me, maybe they're in an area where a lot of sludge gets, messed around and their branch is just black. I don't know. You guys can give it whatever backstory you want, but my bugs are going to have black branches because I don't have any brown permanent markers, and the paint and the washable markers did not really go my way. So once again, we are improvising here at the Logan Library, but I'm gonna go ahead and color my spoons with this black Sharpie so that they look like a branch color. I'll also say, if you guys do this at home and you do not come pick up the kit, I believe that you can buy brown spoons, like maybe at Dollar Tree in the party section, or maybe Walmart, I'm not sure, but I know in party supply sections they have different colored silverware, or plasticware I should say, for birthday parties. So if you buy a brown plastic spoon, you're already halfway there. You don't even have to worry about the branch. So I'm just gonna go ahead and color this. I'm gonna try not to touch it too much so it doesn't get all over my hands, since it is permanent marker. And like I said, you guys will have to be creative. I don't know if your parents or guardians will let you use permanent marker. So you have to be creative and figure out what you want to do. If you have brown paint, Apple Barrel does make a brown paint. We just don't have any here at the library. So if you have a brown paint, definitely try to use that. If you have a brown permanent marker, you could use that. Or again, if you want to try to rough up the surface and do it that way, you're more than welcome to do that too. I think that would be really cool. But we are going to do this. And I don't know, it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun when things don't exactly go the way that you think they will. Maybe I'm just looking at it as positively as possible, but I think it's kind of fun when things don't exactly go the way you thought they would, and then you have to really think hard and figure out another way to do it. So, you know, maybe the easiest solution isn't the one that's going to work. It isn't the one that's going to be the most fun, and it isn't the one that's going to provide you with the best results. So that was the case in this scenario. You know, paint is obviously the easiest solution for what to put on a spoon, but it didn't work. So we had to think, or I had to think, what else could I use that would show up on the spoon and that would look like somewhat like a branch? And that is when I obviously came to the conclusion, Sharpie, but you guys can come to any amount of other conclusions. And it's kind of fun to see what you guys come up with. So again, let me know. One more time though, I'm going to let these spoons dry completely. I want the branch part to dry so I don't get it all over my hands since it is permanent, and I also need these to dry completely 100% so we can add the polka dots. So probably about 5 more minutes. I'm going to do a couple more laps around the library and I'll be back. And in case you guys have not noticed, I'm just kidding about that. I am definitely not running laps around the library. If you know me, you know that running laps is not something I do for fun. So I'll be back. I'm gonna go hang out at my desk and I'll be back in like 5 minutes and then we can add the polka dots. Okay, I'm back. My spoons are, looks like pretty completely dry. Yeah, they're pretty good. So they're dry, the paint has dried, the base has dried pretty well. So now we're ready to go to the next step. So the next step, I'm gonna go ahead and glue on the googly eyes so that we know where they're gonna be to do the polka dots around them. So I'm gonna grab my glue here, which is probably what you'll have to use. A lot of times there's other options. You can use, you know, tape or other things, but I think for this specific craft, glue is gonna be your best bet. Or liquid glue, I mean. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my glue dots right where I want their little eyeballs to be. Oop, don't wanna get my sleeve in it. And then I'm gonna put on their little eyeballs. So we have some bigger eyeballs for this guy over here. And then we have some little teensy tiny eyeballs for our blue guy. And I included different size eyeballs in all of your kits too. So you might get teeny tiny eyeballs like this guy, or you might get a little bit bigger eyeballs. Okay, so there we go. We have our bugs now officially have eyeballs. Now is the fun, well, I always say that. I think a lot of it's fun. But now we're gonna go ahead and put on our polka dots. So, let me think here. I think I'm gonna do pink polka dots on the blue guy and then white polka dots on the purple guy, and it'll look like a chieftain bug. So a lot of you guys probably go to school here in Logan. Most of you probably do. And purple and white are Logan's colors. So I'm gonna go ahead and do Logan colors on the purple bug, and he can be a Logan bug. So I'm just gonna do polka dots. If you guys pick up the craft kit, you'll see on the outside what the little picture looks like. They did like a really cool design all the way around the edge of the bug, but I don't know if I could do that. And I kind of like just the random polka dot look. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna give him a little pink nose, and there we go. So that looks pretty cute. I like that. What do you guys think? I think he's looking pretty good. So I'm gonna leave him there to dry. Now I'm gonna flip my Q-tip and make my chieftain bug. So do some white polka dots. Ooh, that was a big one. Do some white polka dots over here. Get him ready for football Friday night. Which if it wasn't COVID, well actually it's springtime, so never mind. Tonight wouldn't be football Friday night, but in the fall, if it was Friday, it would be football Friday night. Okay, got the polka dots on. So now I'll go ahead and show you what they're looking like so far. They are just cute little spoons with little googly eyes and polka dots. So now it's time to make them look like a branch. So that's the last step. That's when you're gonna take these little leaves that I cut out. And what you're gonna do is grab a pair of scissors and just cut them right about there. So there's a little slit for the spoon to slide in. So I'm going to do that on both. Let me go ahead and show a little bit closer what I did here. So I just cut a little slit in the leaf to slide the spoon in. And I did it really quickly, so that was my bad. Let me go ahead and show you again. So what you do is kind of not really fold, but just bend the leaf like this, and then just snip it. That way it's right in the middle, and that creates the perfect little slidey hole for the bug to go on. And now is the last step. So now we're gonna take our bug, and you can wait until it dries if you want to, but you don't really have to. You're gonna take your bug, and you're gonna slide it on the leaf. There we go, there's one. And there is two. How cute are they? Let me move the paint, get it out of the way. You want to make sure your parent or guardian disposes of the paint, that way you don't get it on anything. But look how cute these turned out. I think that even though we had a couple hiccups, my branches had to be Sharpie black, and it didn't exactly work out the way we thought it would work out, they still turned out really cute. What do you guys think? Definitely, I know I always say this, but definitely on this craft, when you guys had to improvise a little bit, maybe at home, please send me pictures or bring them in to show me what you guys did and what your craft looks like, because I would love to see what you guys come up with if you have to do something a little bit different than what we thought. So that is our craft for the day. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I know that even though things were a little bit different than I thought they would, I had a lot of fun making it, and I think they turned out really cute. So that is all I have for you guys today. I hope that you guys enjoyed this craft. Like I said, if I had to say one of my crafts that didn't go exactly as planned, if I had to label it as like a flop craft, which I hate to use that word, but it was probably this one. I really thought that it would work really well with all the washable paint that we have, but like I said, it didn't. So I kind of had to improvise. Thank goodness we had a couple bottles of this nice apple barrel paint. You would think Apple Barrel was sponsoring this video, but I promise they're not. I'm definitely not cool enough to be sponsored by anybody. But like I said, hopefully if you guys are at home, you're also thinking of some creative solutions as to how you can make your bug on a branch. If you're having a hard time, I do apologize for giving you a craft that maybe was a little bit harder than you thought it would be. But I think it's still fun. I think they still turned out really cute. I know that I like mine, especially my little chieftain bug. I think they turned out cute. And that's, like I said, that's the fun part of crafts, is that everyone's is going to look different. Everybody's going to have different ideas and be creative in their own way. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you enjoyed our week of bugs. And I can't wait to see you guys next week. Does anybody know what next week is? Next week is St. Patrick's Day, so I'm so excited. We have so many things decorated here at the library. We have actually a scavenger hunt going on next week that is St. Patrick's Day themed. So if you guys can make it into the library, definitely do so. We're going to have a scavenger hunt with a prize at the end, and then your name will go in a drawing for a bigger prize at the end of the week. And you guys can find the pot of gold. Who hasn't wanted to find a pot of gold? I know I always do. So definitely come in and see me for St. Patrick's Day. Wear your green so that you don't get pinched. But I'll see you guys next week for a very fun St. Patrick's Day themed story time. Bye everyone.